Hi, I'm Brennan McCarthy. I'm a certified financial planner with Boulevard Wealth Management. I have TJ Scott here with TJ's law office. TJ, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an estate planning attorney with the law office of Timothy J. Scott, and I've been doing it for about 10 years, helping people to plan for their death and plan for incapacity.
Awesome. So I wanted to talk to you about something because often when I'm building out a financial plan for my clients, one of the items on the punch list is talk to an estate planning attorney. You really need to get an estate plan in place. The pushback I get often is I don't have that much of an estate. Why do I need to worry about this kind of stuff?
Yeah, fantastic. And I hear that question, or I hear that response too a lot of times when I introduce myself as an estate planning attorney. But the reality is that an estate plan is more than just where the money is going to go at the end of the day. That yes, part of an estate plan is who is going to receive your money and where is that money going to go. But planning for death, planning for after you're gone, you also need to name somebody who is going to administer those assets. And trust me, it's better that you have somebody that you trust than have somebody that the court picks out from a list of possible candidates for who's going to administer your estate. I've seen a lot of situations where things dissolve or devolve very quickly after somebody has passed away and people are grieving and people don't act the way that they normally would. And not having a plan in place really creates a situation where there can be a lot of conflict and there's a lot of potential for court. But the truth is that estate planning is more than just planning for after you're gone. It's more than just planning for death. That a significant part of estate planning is planning for your lifetime and planning for the potential of incapacity. So it's adding things like a healthcare directive and a power of attorney. So that if you can't make healthcare decisions or if you need somebody to manage your finances for a time, there's somebody that you've named who can take on that role and take care of that for you. So there are lots of reasons to plan your estate, even if you don't have a large estate that you're going to be leaving to somebody.
Sure, that absolutely makes sense. So it's something that a lot of times we don't think about is not just after I'm gone what happens, but what happens when I'm here and I can't make decisions for myself. So have you seen that play out either with your own clients or somewhere else on how that's kind of maybe a horror story of somebody who didn't have that in place or somebody who did it effectively?
Yeah, actually, I have. And I have a couple of stories that I can share. One story from my personal practice that I helped a young wife who was grieving the loss of her husband. And unfortunately, the husband during his lifetime had held some bank accounts as separate property. And the character of them was they were held as separate property, so they were truly his. And that meant that they were a part of his estate after he was gone. And we didn't qualify for the small estate process. So we really had a mess on our hands. We had to initiate a probate and get her access to those funds before she could move on with her life and continue making the normal payments and the normal things that she was used to. And there were two kids involved. So it was a really messy situation there. Um,
Sounds like a big pain for a small issue, what you'd think would be a small issue.
yeah, it was. The other thing that comes to mind is many of us know the case of Terry Schiavo. And Terry was somebody who had suffered a cardiac event and went into a vegetative state. And there was an argument between her husband and her parents about whether Terry would want to continue living in that vegetative state or if she should be taken off of life support and allowed to pass away. And there were court cases in Florida, ranging all the way up to the Supreme Court, about what should happen with Terry and whether she should remain on life support as her parents wanted her to. But eventually it was decided that Terry's life support should be removed, and it was, and Terry ended up passing away. But that was something that Terry could have decided herself in a document like a healthcare directive, where you can actually lay out your wishes for what you want to have happen with your healthcare.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough story to hear, but tell us where people can find you, TJ.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name is TJ Scott with the Law Office of Timothy J. Scott. I can be found online at tjslawoffice.com. My email is timothy@tjslawoffice.com. And my phone number is 952-215-4707.
Great. Thanks, TJ.
Yeah, thank you, Brennan.